Welcome to I Left the City, a show about the talented and skilled people who moved to Hastings County to find a wildly authentic life. I'm your host, Michelle Sampson. Traditionally, this podcast has focused on professionals who left the city. But we're doing something a little different for the next few episodes. We're featuring organizations that can help you, a city slicker who's getting tired of the rat race, move your business, or start a new one here in Hastings County. In this episode, we're talking money. Community Futures Development Corporations are nonprofits that exclusively serve rural areas like Hastings County and invest in local businesses. Lynn Rutledge, the Executive Director of the Community Futures of North and Central Hastings and South Algonquin, is here to tell us about their flexible and affordable loans, free business counseling, and why so many of their clients recommend them. All right, Lynn, because this is I Left the City, I've got to ask where you're from.
I've been in the Bancroft area for the last 50 years. Before that, my family came from Richmond Hill, actually, and my father and mother bought a business here when I was 8.
So you did leave the city, although you were a little younger than the average person that we're usually talking to.
Exactly.
Okay, and you said you're currently calling Bancroft home?
A little bit north of Bancroft, Baptiste Lake.
And what's your favorite part of being in Bancroft?
I think it's obviously for me being on the lake, it's the nature, it's having the less hustle and bustle, just being closer to nature and to water and to the people here has been my favorite part for sure.
Yeah, I love the water. The water is so powerful.
Yes, it is.
So we know a little bit about your residential history and how you came to Hastings County, but I'd also love to hear your professional track as well. How did you become Executive Director of the Community Futures of North and Central Hastings and South Algonquin? A little bit of a mouthful.
Being able to pronounce the name. No. Actually, I worked at a bank in town here for 15 years. And there was a job that came up here for the loan officer. And I knew that Community Futures, the way they dealt with clients and the way, just the different atmosphere. And I really was interested. So I applied and I got that job. And I worked at that job until 2012 when the executive director left. And then I applied for that job and I was able to do that. So it's been sort of a really great curve and growth for me. It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Right. And you know the organization from a few different perspectives as well, which is always really great.
Exactly.
So maybe let's take a step back. Some people might not be familiar with what a Community Futures is. Could you explain what they are, broadly speaking?
Broadly speaking, it is a national program. So we are funded by the Government of Canada through the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. Community Futures Development Organizations have been around since 1985. Our organization was incorporated in 1989. So we've been here for a long time. It is a national program in that it's something to help rural and remote businesses. So that's what's different about Community Futures. It's only for the rural people across Canada and businesses across Canada. So every Community Futures is a little bit different based on their community needs, based on, what they could do. But all of us do the financing for businesses and other types of supports as well.
Okay. And what makes it different, aside from sort of the rural angle, what makes it different from a bank?
I think the main difference is we have local solutions to local problems. So our loans aren't sent to the head office somewhere. We have local people on our board and our committees making these decisions. So they have that knowledge, they have that passion, I think, for that as well. Also, we deal with clients that the banks sometimes don't want to deal with. Maybe they're too new. Maybe it's a type of business they don't want to deal with. And the banks give us referrals. So I think that's one good thing is we do get referrals from them. We can work closely with them. We're not in competition with them, but we want what's best for the business and best for the community. So I think the main difference is we can be a little more flexible. We can really work with the client that way. And we are, I think more approachable, more accessible for our clients. Like we're here. They can just give us a call. They can stop in, send us an email. It's us that's answering, not a head office or something like that.
Right. I love that. So what types of businesses do you work with? Or if it's quicker, what types of businesses don't you work with?
We work with all types of businesses, small, medium size. So, that's pretty much everyone that is in our area. Our major businesses that we work with are probably, like if I can think of the 3 types of industries they're in, we'd have hospitality, retail, forestry is a big one too as well, construction, services, everything you can think of. That's the type of businesses we work with.
So for anybody listening, there's a very good chance that you're going to be able to call up your local CFDC and work with them.
Exactly.
Let's get into a little bit more detail about exactly what it is you offer businesses. And loans is the biggest part of that, right?
Loans is our mainstay. Like we do sometimes have different programming, different types of grants, different types of things, right? But our, core operation would be our loan portfolio. And our loan portfolio, not that we're bragging, but we do have one of the top ones in Canada out of the 267, one of the highest ones and one of the best performing. So that just shows you that there is a need for us and that we are here to solve that need. So the loans that we have, they're like a regular loan and they can be, be secured by different things and everything like that. And it can be for so many different purposes of your business. So it can be, you want to buy a commercial property, you want to invest in some equipment, you just need help with cash flow, you need help with operating money, whatever it is, you need to consolidate some business debts, but it's all business purposes is what we look at.
Okay. And how much can you offer?
We can do up to 300,000. We could also sometimes work with a bank, work with the BDC, work with another community futures to maybe do more. So, we try to do what's best for the client.
Okay, so another big bucket of what you do is business counseling. And I hear that you offer some free one-on-one business counseling. So tell me more about that.
So one-on-one business counseling, confidential, people can come in, talk to us. A lot of the stuff we may do is say startup. Someone has an idea. They come in, they say, I have an idea, where do I go? Well, we have a great business startup checklist. We can help them, direct them where they should go. We can just go through stuff with them, help them with a business plan. Some people come in and say, I was online, I couldn't register, I didn't feel comfortable or whatever. They don't have access to the internet. We can help them go through the registration process as well. So anything that we can help people with, we will. Basic bookkeeping, if someone needs some help, how do I set this up or do something? Anything that's obviously like taxation or bigger issues, we do, tell you go to your lawyer or go to your accountant or something like that. But we'd like to, help as much as we can and give them the right questions to ask when they go to their professionals too, as well. So that's important.
Right. So assuming we're talking to someone who is coming in and new to the community, are you also able to make referrals to other professionals?
Yes, definitely. And we try to do that. We don't have particular ones that we say this one is better than this one or whatever, but we give them the information and they can make the decision of what they need to do. And we do have a large area. So our area is not just Bancroft. It's Hastings County from made up Marvin Tweed, a little bit south of that on Highway 7, well, south of Highway 7, actually, all the way up to the actual township of South Algonquin. So we go into the township of South Algonquin in Whitney area as well. So we do have a big area. So there's a lot of different places where people can go for assistance based on what area they happen to be in. But for us, if someone needs counseling, we're willing to travel. They don't have to come to our office. We can go visit them. We can do it online with Zoom. We can do it over the phone. However is best for our client, that's how we're going to do it, for sure.
That's great. And that's really good to know.
Yeah.
So you also have some fun services, I would say, tailored to retail businesses. Tell me about your merchandising workshop and your makeover service.
So the merchandising workshop, that's a workshop, and we go through how you should set up your retail space for maximizing your sales, maximizing your traffic. And that would show you the different types of displays. Where should you put your stuff that's on sale? Where should you put your other stuff? So, that's the workshop that we can offer. So if people need that, then, we'd offer that, no problem. Also, our loan officer and small business advisor, she's the one that would do that. And she would go out to your business and she would go through the business for free, give you some tips, give you some advice, because she has taken a course on this. So she knows what to do. She can give you some information of how the best way is to set up your business to maximize your sales. When you go to a big grocery store or ever in a big store, you don't even realize that they have these people that are experts in how to merchandise to, direct the eye, how to merchandise to direct the flow. And as a customer, you don't even realize this. And as a business owner, you don't go into business knowing this type of stuff. So that's what we're here for, to help you to maximize that. And that's a free service we can offer as well.
Yeah. You know what comes to mind? When Tim Hortons moved their donuts from behind the counter to those glass cases, like right at the front. And I really noticed that it's so much more appealing. It's right there. You don't have to kind of squint and be like, do you have any crullers? Yeah. It's right there. So that would be kind of an example of like how that kind of change can make a difference, right?
Exactly. It's sort of like if they have featured products, like it's at the end of the aisle and it makes you want to buy it because of where I placed it. And that's where they want your eye to go. And no, it is very interesting. I think it's a science, right? Like, so I mean, why not give the same information to the smaller business as the larger ones have at their disposal? So to maximize your sales.
Exactly. That sounds like a great service to take advantage of. So what else do you offer businesses?
We have workshops that we do as well all through the year. January 22nd, we have a workshop, and that is mainly focused on grant writing. And that's a free workshop at Loyalist College here in Bancroft, where people can be together and watch the workshop online, or you can do it from the comfort of your home. So that's one that we're doing in January. And during the year, we do different workshops as well. We also have special programming that can change, obviously, due to funding, due to other needs of the clients or whatever. Right now, with the impact of the tariffs and different things like that, we are offering a Can Trade Opportunity Fund is what it's called. And it's a loan product for businesses operating in North or Central Hastings or South Algonquin. And the loans are for tariff-impacted businesses to finance opportunities to grow and to stabilize their business. So that's financing up to, and that is a loan product. It's financing up to 150, but it's interest-only payments for 6 months. And there's no fees, and the rates are starting at prime. So it's a little bit better rate, and you have only interest-only payments for the 6 months. So that is something there. We also right now provide a up to $3,000 grant, and that is any businesses or other organizations that are making eligible environmentally minded or accessibility enhancement projects. So it's 50% of the value or $3,000, whichever is less, obviously. So $3,000 is the maximum we can go with that, but that is a grant program. That's not a loan. For youth, we have a couple of things for youth, actually. We have a youth entrepreneurship loan. That's a new one as well. And that is loans are up to $30,000 with no payments for 1 year. They have to be between 18 and 39. Youth is getting older, obviously. I'm almost close to youth, not really, and they own or operate their business for less than a year. And the youth business marketing program as well, that's $500 value you get with a digital marketing professional. It's all on our website. It's hard to go through all the details, obviously.
For sure.
But that's some of the stuff we offer for businesses and for community organizations such as not-for-profits. We also have a $3,000 local initiative program, and that is a grant program for economic development projects as well. So, we try to do what we can with what funding we have. When funding is different, we offer different programming.
So, Mary Lynn, you've given a lot of compelling reasons to reach out to your local CFDC, whether you're a newcomer or whether you're already in the community for a long time. But if someone is, for some reason, still on the fence about reaching out, what would you tell them?
The main way we get our clients, our new clients, is through word of mouth. And that tells me that we're doing something right, because you're not going to get a good referral from someone who you've treated poorly. So I think for anyone on the fence or anyone that's uncomfortable, just realize that that is out there, the good word. And we are here for people. People have told us, oh, you're easy to talk to. Everyone says that about us, that we're not so structured. They feel very comfortable talking to the staff here. So I think that's what I would tell people. We're here. You can just give us a call. We're willing to listen to anything. Like, even if you want to just bounce some ideas off us, we're a great sounding board. Sometimes just talking about an idea gets it straight in someone's head, if, oh, that's going to work, or, oh, no, that doesn't sound good, what I say, like that.
So true.
I think just knowing that the word of mouth is our main source of new clients, I think should be a good testimonial. And speaking of testimonials, we actually have them on our website to show people that this is what our clients are saying about us. So, I encourage anyone that is a bit nervous or on the fence to read that and to know that that's what we're here for.
You've been very efficient, Mary Lynn. Any final thoughts?
Just come see us. We want to hear what people are doing in the community. And it doesn't have to be always good information either. Maybe if you're having struggles, come see us. Don't wait too long. I always think, don't wait until it's too late. If you're thinking, oh, I need to, I'm having some struggles with cash flow, or I need to do something here, feel comfortable to come and speak to us. It's confidential. We're here for everyone. And we're here for different reasons, too. It's not just the financing. We're here just to listen as well. We're here to provide support. And we enjoy talking to our clients. I think that's one thing I should really say. We feel their success. We have really good staff here. Our staff is very empathetic and listens well, understands, I think, the community. I just was thinking the other day, like, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. The loan officer grew up in an entrepreneurial family. Our project officer as well. It's something in a small town. A lot of people have to be an entrepreneur to make it in a small community. And that's why we've been, successful for the past 37 years or whatever it is. And I think that's why we will continue to be, because in the small area, you have to make your own success sometimes. And I think that's important, and that's what we're here for. And thank you so much for giving me the time to talk about us. I know this is not your usual subject, but, if somebody's just moved up here, give us a call. Look at our website, send us an email, whatever it is, and we'd be happy to talk to you.
Great place to leave it off. Thank you so much, Mary Lynn.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for talking to me today. I appreciate it.
In the interview, Mary Lynn mentioned that the community futures of North and Central Hastings and South Algonquin had a top-performing loan portfolio. She didn't quite brag, so I will. Since its inception, the CF has dispersed more than 1,300 loans to local businesses with a total value of $62 million. Find out more about their loans, services, and workshops at community-futures.ca. And if after hearing this episode, you're inspired to move your home and work to Hastings County, head over to investinhastings.ca to find startup and relocation advice, commercial property listings, and lots of other business resources. New episodes of I Left the City are coming soon. To make sure you don't miss them, subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or YouTube. I Left the City is an initiative of the Hastings County Economic Development Department. It's produced by Storied Places Media and hosted by me, Michelle Sampson. Thanks for listening.